Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily Wednesday workout. It's Des here. As you can see, the late one again. Still trying to squeeze it in on a Wednesday, but I've been at the running club, been involved in that, really enjoyed that today, and I'm going to speak about that today, being around people and the importance of it. But just to sort of reflect on yesterday, of course, a little bit tipsy after that England match doing the video, and whilst it would have been easy to wake up and feel kind of stressed about it and oh god, what did I say, what did I do, I mentioned right at the start of the video yesterday, this is my personal vlog. It's supposed to be a realistic realistic sort of view of how I go about my business, how I do things. And when the football's on, I get a little bit excited, like most people who are keen. England beating Germany, definitely a reason to be a little bit more enthusiastic than normal, reason for a few celebratory drinks and to make the most of it. So it was just a little snapshot of the way I am when I've had a couple of pints, or even a few more than that. But that doesn't matter, does it? Like I say, it's just a reflection on what I'm doing. I try to be honest and relatable and pass across that message. It's not always easy. Sometimes people will question why and what you do, but you're getting a glimpse into what I'm all about. Like I say, it is my vlog, it's a personal vlog, so it's important for me to just show you the nuts and crannies of everything that goes off. But today, whilst I've felt a bit hungover, in all honesty, not actually been able to get a run in. My legs feeling a bit sore. I did the training for this big event I've got later in the week. Still really looking forward to it. Still confident that I can get through it. But the hamstrings just been a bit sore, whether it's a bit too much alcohol and not feeling great in general. I don't feel it is. I feel it's probably not helping though. Then that's the point, isn't it? And I always talk about good decisions. I don't claim to be perfect. I don't claim to make the right decisions all the time. And again, hence the reason for having a few drinks to enjoy what I'm doing. That said, no regrets. Apart from the fact I didn't do activity today, I've been to the running club and really enjoyed it. I just kind of sat back for a few minutes, and I think it's number 11 now, the 11th group since we've been able to do it again during lockdown. And it just seems to be getting even better, And on the face of it, some might wonder what I'm talking about. Some might wonder, why is it any different? What's so special about it? But just sitting back, watching people get to know each other even more, almost forget what's happened in the last 14 months. Of course, DOdaily started because of the pandemic to try and give people a view of how I'm dealing with it, of things we can do. Plenty of encouragement to make the right choices most of the time, but I'm almost starting to think now that it's probably people are starting to forget about it, and that only happens when you sort of do things, when you get out there, when you attend group activity like that. Of course it gets the endorphins flowing as well. It makes it really enjoyable, feeling the achievement and getting in plenty of exercise. I always say one positive action leads to another, and getting the body moving is the first positive action you can make. We're all a little bit guilty sometimes of neglecting ourselves in terms of what we need to do and how we need to go about it. But seriously guys, in all honesty, if you just keep the communication going, it can be the first step in sort of building relationships, maintaining relationships. We've all been in survival mode through the pandemic in one way or another. We've all had to do things we don't necessarily want to do, but right now we've got the opportunity to come back together. Of course, we're not completely out of the woods, so I'm urging caution, but the way we can approach it now, the way we can get about our activity, lots of people looking forward to big events. So it's just important to sort of maintain that enthusiasm, maintain that willingness to look for how it's working, why it's working, what it can do. But even in these groups, they're pretty much the same every time. You could almost think, why is one different from the others? But the reality is, today and Sunday, I noticed a real difference, a real sort of uplift. Perhaps there was a little bit of that uncomfortableness coming back, a bit of shyness, I guess, through the fact we've all lost a bit of personal contact. We've all lost a bit of, probably sort of lost our skills. Become a bit less personable. But it feels like it's really coming back together. And whilst we get steady numbers, it's not supposed to be about the biggest amount of people joining. We've got a real sort of solid group, probably a real hardcore of 10 who come all the time, and probably double that who come on a sort of less regular basis but really enjoy it. We're not focused on numbers, but what we are is focusing on quality. We're not focusing on quantity, we're focusing on quality, and that's what it's about, isn't it? When you've got quality relationships, when you've got quality people and encouragement, around you, when you've got a really nice place to do it from, this is what it's all set up for in the way we do it. It is set up to really enjoy it, to make the most of it. And like I've said so many times already, I'm really starting to see people getting what they need to from it. Throw in the activity, like I said, with getting those endorphins flowing, with sort of pushing on with that, seeing the results again. We all know by being around people, it can just be the spark. People might choose to run with each other, they might run that little bit further. A couple of the guys went and did a half marathon today, and then one of the ladies, they did half of it and then joined the group, so they're getting the extra from it there. But a lady joined them as well, did a little bit further than she probably would have done in normal circumstances. So it's just really it's really ticking all the boxes. It's the worst, ticking boxes is the worst comment I like to use, because I never like to think it's a box ticking exercise, but it does tick all the boxes. It makes everybody feel great, feel fantastic, and seeing it again, whilst I've had that little bit of frustration today, I've kept my confidence for the big event, the 24 miles over 24 hours on Friday. Managed to put a few more plans in place for that, managed to talk to some other people, get them involved too, invite them along. So the message today, guys, is just make sure wherever you can, whenever you can, is enjoy the company around you, especially if they're like-minded, especially if they're friendly, and especially if they are encouraging and enthusiastic too. Because when we're that, everything's so much better, isn't it? Without communication, without stepping out of a comfort zone, sometimes we let those relationships kind of dissipate. And unfortunately, COVID's kind of forced that on us as well, hasn't it? COVID's forced us into a situation where we've actually not been allowed to see people. How ridiculous does that sound? But it's something we've got used to in the last 14 months. But thankfully, we won't have to get used to it going forward, because everything seems to be ironing itself out a little bit. I'll reiterate the fact that we need to sort of keep pushing on, something I've said a lot, keep pushing on with caution. We're not completely out of the woods, but when we do it, when we do it with others, it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I'm getting so much from these groups now. Whilst a couple of weeks ago it was all a little bit overwhelming again, even for me, someone who really tries to drive and push this message of the importance of taking part in activity, taking part with others, and taking part for various reasons. But all of a sudden, you know, all that feeling of being overwhelmed and busy and stretched again, you know, it's just disappeared. It feels fantastic. It feels great to be amongst friends, you know, enjoying everything that I know I've worked hard to put together. You know, some of us might question that. Sorry, it's gone a bit dark there. I've worked hard to put that together, but when you feel that, when you see what people are doing, you get that real sense of achievement. So that's it for today, guys. Just encouragement to wherever you are, whether it's do running or not, absolutely wherever you are, if you can join something and get involved. You know, we've got different ways of doing that. Of course, check out the social media and everything that kind of offers. There's ways you can interact with DOdaily and keep involved, but unless you do it, you know, nothing's going to happen, is it? We can't build relationships, we can't while away a few hours forgetting about all the stresses of busy lives and weeks and everything else we talk about on a Wednesday if we sat on our own dwelling on things. You know, give it a try, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you've not seen yesterday's video, if you fancy a laugh and at my expense, something I'm not afraid to do either is put myself on the line even when I possibly shouldn't. Look back for that, you know, give it a like, thumbs up, share, whatever, you know, all those things we do to try and build this thing. Just getting about things the way I see it, that's all it is. Nothing offensive, nothing preachy. Of course I want to spread a message of the importance of certain things, but I can assure you I won't get too preachy about it. Whilst I say I've not done much activity today, I've probably walked 2-3 miles, you know, so it can't be a complete write-off. I'm down by the river again, as I was last week, you know, and look at it at this time of night. It's absolutely stunning. I walked along here with a friend earlier, and she said to me, "You're right, this is absolutely beautiful." You know, it's always a different colour. So look at that, the suspension bridge. I'll post a couple of pictures at the end, just something to look at. Like I say, drop us a like and share if you'd be so kind. You know, I'm just trying to sort of share some of my enthusiasm and thoughts of how I'm dealing with life at the moment. Just doing it.